Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you. Yesterday, we one more time applied our insights into this cycle we've been talking about, the depressor-fixer cycle. And what we talked about was how we can diffuse the depressor and identify what I think of as that sly little devil, because it's so subtle. That's the fixer. Yesterday, our focus was on the dynamics that underlie much of our procrastination. The day before, we talked about how the same process, the depressor-fixer cycle, can get us going and keep us awake. So we talked about insomnia. Have you ever noticed how we tend to put off completing things that make us feel anxious or hopeless? Well, that was the essence of our exercise yesterday, to see if we can create some kind of wiggle room around the depressor on the one hand and the fixer on the other hand, so that we can approach tasks in our lives, especially the ones that we've put off in the past, so we can approach them with our resting brain rather than our red alert brain. So we're trying to find practices that will move us into resting brain so that we can get past procrastination. Now, there are tons of ways of calming our bodies and centering our minds, moving us from red alert to resting brain. My way of thinking of it is the more arrows that we can gather into our quivers, the better. When it comes to creating a bank of useful practices for what psychology calls self-regulation. For today, what I'd like to do as we wrap up, at least for right now, our explorations of the fixer and its counterpart, the depressor, I'd like to ask you to make a list of the first half a dozen techniques or practices that you currently have at your disposal for moving from red alert to resting brain. In fact, did you know that with regular practice, you can actually begin to lower your baseline stress level? What this means is that with practice, you'll be walking around with far greater capacity to handle what I think of as the slings and arrows of day-to-day stress. So with this positive note in mind, take your list of 6 stress-reducing practices, and I'd like you to create what we're going to call a stress-busting calendar for this next week. Let me just make up an example for you. You could do this in your calendar. I'm going to exercise, let's say, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to practice mindfulness of the breath on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And how about if I go watch the sunset on Saturday? I think you get the drift, right? I just want to ask you to complete this list and now go enjoy it, right? Thanks for spending part of your day with me here at the Vitality Project. It's much appreciated. I wish you best of fortune with our exercise. This is a fun one. And we'll check back in with each other soon, okay? Hopefully you'll be back tomorrow and joining me. In the meantime, please stay safe, be well, and take good care.